Today we are supposed to have a discussion on the Buddhist philosophy of economics. Now you may wonder why we put philosophy, we can call of course Buddhist economics, but rather I have suggested Buddhist philosophy of economics for a reason. Because Buddha, when we talk about Buddhist economics, people may ask, how come you call Buddha an economist? Right? He was not an economist, and his teachings are not in parallel to modern day what we teach in the universities as economics. Right? So you may think now modern economics has many complicated concepts, and it has complicated the world also, owing to these complicated concepts and operations. But somehow Buddha has also spoken about economics in a philosophical manner. So Buddhism, even though it hasn't got a proper thing called economics as the university subject goes, but there is a philosophy of economics which is very useful, because any economist for that matter can get Buddhism as the guideline. Buddhism guides people's economic conduct, right? So everybody, if you are living in a society, in a modern context even, has some economy for them, because economy is a word from Greek Latin origin, which means controlling your household. But it's not simply household. When we are living in a country, the entire country, right, has some kind of way of earning, way of spending, and way of enjoying wealth, and it's something connected to money and wealth, right? People, if they are living a sort of mundane life, need to handle money, right? Handling money is in fact for different purposes. Modern economists, when they are asked to define, in our universities of course, they say the world has limited resources. With those limited resources, we have unlimited desires, right? How to sort of manage to satisfy these unlimited desires with the limited resources. So there comes a problem which has something to do with philosophy as well, right? Because in philosophy we talk about satisfaction, happiness, and all these things, right? So economics is a means of living happily, living successfully, enjoying our life here, right? For that matter, what is essential is to have money, right? The money is actually a very complicated thing that many people have proposed various definitions for money, various views on money, philosophical, economic, and various other approaches are there. So when I sort of had a talk in Singapore on this particular topic, in my audience, some of my students were there, and they requested the text of the talk to be printed. So I got it printed. This is the book that they printed. Now all copies are gone, therefore I am very sorry that I couldn't bring you each a copy, right? It became very popular actually. 6,000 copies were printed and all gone now. So my topic there was get rich the Buddhist way. Get rich the Buddhist way. Singaporeans really like that. Of course, I am sure Malaysians would also like that. Get rich. That's what we want, isn't it? Poor, not happy. Right? When you become poor, when you become penniless, of course, how to live? Some people think that to become poor is a blessing, right? Some people who are sort of overtly religious, right, may think, poverty. Rich, when you are rich, some people maintain that it's very difficult to go to heaven, right? A Christian friend of mine in Sri Lanka once told me that to go to heaven for a rich man is very difficult, more than an ass trying to get into a hole of a needle, eye of a needle. Eye of a needle is very big, is it? Can you enter into a eye of a needle? Anyone? Right? Getting into eye of a needle? Possible, madam? Well, it's possible. Because when the Bible was written, my Christian friend, after telling me that, told me, it is a damn mistake to think that this eye of the needle is a proper, a real, actual eye of a needle. He said, no. If it is the proper needle eye, which we every day we use the needle to, touch your clothes. If that is the eye, then it really means that nobody who is rich will be able to go to heaven. It's very, very unkind, isn't that so? Unreasonable condition. You have to be absolutely poor to go to heaven. But the problem is that my Christian friend told me that heaven is actually something that we don't see at the moment. Right? According to our human experience, right? It's something that to be achieved in a long future, unseen future. It's like a dream in a way. But Christians are not, enjoying that idea. They say, it's real, heaven is real. Right, may be real, but at the moment, it's something conjectural for us. And to become poor and suffer here, and then eventually you are told that it's absolutely difficult, like a donkey to enter into needle eye, then you realize, then it is impossible, practically impossible for me to go to heaven. Then what was the meaning of becoming penniless? Right? Here also 0, and when you are ready to go to heaven also, 0, you fail. Right? So, my friend told me during the time that the Bible was written, there was a bridge called Eye of the Needle. That's the name of the bridge. And when you take your donkey or ass through this bridge, you must not have a big bundle on his back. Right? If you have a big bundle, you cannot enter because it's a low bridge. Over the bridge, there is a thing that prevents you getting enter with a huge bundle of things on. So you have to get the bundle released and then you can enter actually. So this is not an impractical dream, right? But that it's sort of fanciful thinking. Some people think, rich fellows can't come to heaven. No. It has to be. They have to be allowed. Right? Rich means success here. So how can you be a failure there? There also you are supposed to get success. There are a lot of beautiful romantic stories about being poor. One such story is that once upon a time there was a king who wanted to wear the shirt of a happiest man on the earth. So he contracted his ministers and all, friendly people, please find the happiest man on this earth and get his shirt for me. So they were traveling here and there, sort of questioning rich people, happy people, happy people like that. They went on and eventually they found the people who have money, who live in palatial houses, who have a lot of children and so much pleasure. But when they ask, are you really happy? They say, well, I myself wonder whether I am a happy man. There are occasions that I am very frustrated. There are occasions that I don't achieve what I want. Like that, they were confessing that they are not qualified to be named the happiest man on this earth. So they could not take the shirt of those people to the king. Right? Eventually, in frustration, the group who were looking for the happiest man on this earth saw a beggar sleeping under a tree after his meal without having any bundle to carry here and there. Right? Then they asked him, Are you happy? The beggar says, I'm very happy. Why you are happy? Because I got my meal today. And I don't have to carry a heavy weight or anything like that, so I can sleep anywhere without worry of a thief taking my things. No worries about, people taking my things. And I'm sure I will get my dinner also when I go somewhere. Some people, out of pity, will feed me. So regarding food, I have no anxiety. I don't have a family to look after. I don't have things to protect. I'm absolutely happy. So they thought, we have eventually found the happiest man on this earth. So they told this poor beggar, look, our king wants to have the shirt of the happiest man, right? Would you mind giving us your shirt, one of your shirts? The man said, actually, I never remember a day that I was wearing a shirt. I never had a shirt. So happiest man on this earth had not even a shirt. So by telling this story, what people want to pass as the message to us, poverty is a blessing. But that's wrong. That's wrong. Poverty is not a blessing, right? We have to realize that when the day that you are poor, nobody will care for you. You have to beg for food. Beg. Begging is, according to the Indian tradition, the most unpleasant word in the world. Most unpleasant word in the world is please give. Right? When you say please give, or you beg from other people, they become at least little bit angry. Right? You don't want people to beg from you. Although you are very much concerned about people suffering and all that, right? When people come begging, of course, it's not a very pleasant experience, right? So, and to say, please give, you have to make your mind. After thinking many times, should I beg, should I ask him to give me, will he give me, will he reject me, will he reject me, will he make me upset? Should I ask, you will be thinking hours and hours before you say, please give me some money. Borrowing money, begging money, all these things are very unpleasant experiences. So, in India, in the Indian sort of linguistic culture, they say the most unpleasant word in the world is give. Right? That's why we normally consider begging is not a good profession. Right? Some beggars, of course, have a lot of money. In Sri Lanka, recently, a beggar died on the street. And the police, when they were supposed to do the last things that police has to do when someone unidentified died, got his bag. And when it's open, there was 8,000 rupees, such a big amount of money, right? And his bank account had a lot of money, right? Equal to a generally rich man in Sri Lanka. So he was not a real beggar, but he was actually acting to be, right? Pretending to be poor, right? Otherwise, poverty is real suffering. Now, what did the Buddha say about this? Buddha has said, Dalidyang bhikkhave dukkhang gihino kamabhogino. Right? Buddha says, for a layman, right? He makes the qualification, but for a monk, it's not a problem to be poor. Because we are more or less bound to sort of look after the venerables because their conduct is really good. They are ethically well managed. So we have respect, and they are the people who give us Dhamma talks, teaching Dhamma. Therefore, we have our respect, and so we look after them. So Buddha is not worried about poverty of the monks, right? But for the monks also, there is a minimum number of things that they should possess, right? Without the feeling of possessing, there are things that they have to use. To live, you need certain things. Buddha has given the minimum list for bhikkhus, the monks to survive. Chivara, Pindapata, Senasana, Gyanapaccha, you call it, 4 types of items. They must have a robe to wear, because in civilized society, it is a norm that people should wear decently, right? Indecent exposure of your body, right, is considered ridiculous. So monks should behave in society because they are supposed to go here and there in order to beg alms, in order to preach Dhamma, in order to help suffering people. For many purposes they have to travel. And traveling without a decent dress is absolutely horrible, isn't it? So, the number 1, the Buddha says, monks must have clothes, robe. So, minimum number of 3 pieces, right? To wear a sarong-like thing, right? You call sarong in Malaysia, do you? Yeah, sarong. And then the top cloth, and then a 2-ply robe to be worn when it is cold. Those are the minimum 3, right? So, Buddhist monks must have chivara, and then pindapata, the food that you beg for. You must have something to eat, otherwise how can you survive? Food is a necessity. So, chivara, pindapata. Then senasana, to live under a shade. Right? Buddha says that if you can have a roof over your head, right, some sort of shade is really very good. But if you don't have that, even a shade of a tree, because India has a lot of large trees which give sufficient shade for you to sleep comfortably. For instance, banyan trees. They can cover a large area. So at least a tree. So Buddha says, Rukkamula Senasanang Nisaya Pabbajja. You ordain just because you are having at least a tree shade to cover yourself, to shade yourself, protect yourself. If there is no even a tree shade, it's impossible to survive as a monk. Right? And that's Senasana. And thirdly, Gilana Pachya, something to drink or swallow when you are sick. Some medicine. Medicine is essential for human beings because the human beings don't have that natural instinct of finding medicinally good herbs. Right? They have to depend on someone knowledgeable, a doctor. Chinese, Ayurvedic or Western. Right? So you need some medicine. So those are the bare minimums of monkhood. Chivara, Pindapata, Senasana, Gilana Pachya. So that's Buddha's way of looking at the necessary things for a monk to survive. But for laymen, there are many other things that you have to find, earn. So economy is absolutely necessary to earn and to spend. So 2 activities, earning and spending. You earn only for spending, right? Gathering a lot of money and hoarding it without spending is absolutely ridiculous, idiotic act. There is a story about a beggar who happened to collect money, and you know that a beggar normally gets more coins than notes, printed notes. Paper money is not very often to be obtained. They get coins, right? Maybe that Malaysians are not worried about coins. They are mostly thinking of bigger notes, maybe. But the beggars, you have coins, you give them. And this beggar was living in a very small hut, right? And he had dug a well-like hole. You know wells, right? Presently, it's very rare thing to see. Well. Digging a well for water. Right. He had dug a well, a large pit in his shelter, which is hut, and every day he brings a bag full of coins, what he has earned, bring in and put it into the pit. And when there was a layer of coins, every day when he put more coins, there is a clinking noise, a sound. And he enjoys that. It's music for him. Right? Money falling on the layer of money and giving a cling sound. Beautiful sound. So he really enjoyed it. Happy. So, the well is getting full. One day when he was putting his collection of the day, there was no noise. He didn't hear anything. He was really, what happened? Normally he has a stone covering over the pit. He removed the cover, everything gone. Someone, a thief, had come to know what he was doing. So when he was absent, when he was on his daily round of begging, he had come in and he had taken all the money out of the pit, and when this one put then today's collection, no music. He was very upset and he was beating his own chest, crying. All my life savings are gone, my God, how can I serve it? Then people come and ask, what? Yes, I had this pit, deep pit, and he was putting all the money I get as a... Didn't you spend anything like that, or didn't you think of putting them into a bank account or something? No, this music, it was music for me. So you didn't enjoy spending? No. What were you doing then? Well, I had this big stone covering the opening of my pit. And I normally sit here and focusing on, looking at the stone cover, and spend hours and hours looking at the stone. The people said, still you can do that. Stone you can put on the pit and keep on watching. Money has gone now to a person who can use it. You are not using money, you are covering your money with the stone cover, and you are just looking at it, and you can still keep on looking at the stone. Go ahead. Don't worry about the money. Money has now gone to a person who can use it. Thief can use it. So that means money is for spending, use, right? Not to collect. So Buddha, even though he said dalidyang bhikkhave dukkhang, poverty is suffering, he didn't mean that collecting a lot of money and not using it. Money is for using. Money is for using, for enjoyment. But the thing is that even though Buddha said money is actually something that you can use and enjoy, that money, there are conditions. The money has to be obtained by working, right? It's not that money that you pilfer from your workplace, money that you rob, money that you sort of pickpocket or something, right? Oh, it has to be dhammikehi dhammaladdehi. People who are pious must obtain Dhamma by means of justifiable means, right? So Buddha says, earn that. Otherwise, there is no ceiling and floor for money in Buddhism. The only condition that the money has to be something, bahabala parikitehi. The Buddha says, make your limbs work for that. Your hands, your legs, right? You have to use them for earning. Then that is a justification for your money, right? That way Buddha knows there is no point in having a ceiling, because there is a limit for human limbs to work and earn. Pious means have a limit. Automatically, when you think of your money to be righteously owned, then that itself limits the amount. If you can work more, yes, of course you get more money. But still, it will not a big hoard. right? So it automatically controls. So the Buddha says there's no other, Buddha's control is that earn in Dhamma, in justifiable means. Dhammikehi Dhamma laddehi. Pious, righteous people have righteous means of earning and they have justifiable wealth. Right? And that wealth is also, according to Buddha's conception, is not to be proud of that money. Because money can corrupt people. You might have heard that American song. Oh, the singer's name, what's the name? I have in my book the name of the group of singers. They sing, money is the root of all evil. Take it away, take it away, take it away. Have you heard that? It's a rather old song. So maybe that you don't get it on your radio now. But if you use the Google search, type it. Then you get, that is Golden Oldie of Andrews Sisters. Andrews Sisters are the group of singers who sang this song. Money is the root of all evil. Take it away, take it away, take it away. Easier sung than practice. Right? Easy to sing. But practice, asking people, take it away, all this money, no need, root of evil. Is it actually root of evil, money? No. Right? Buddha has said, it can be evil for foolish people. Fools. The Buddha has, in Dhammapada said, riches ruin only the foolish, not those in quest of the beyond. By craving for riches, the witless man ruins himself as well as others. Ruins himself as well as others. It can be ruinous for your friends, family people and all that. Why? Because there are so many vices that you can do with money. Right? That is why some people from all over the world come to either Singapore or Malaysia even, right? To play casino and lose all their money and then empty hand they go back. And Sri Lanka is also now thinking of doing that. Once upon a time we started, but then the Prime Minister, who was a Buddhist, said, no, that's unjustifiable money, dirty money, right? Making people do this sort of casino type of things and take their money and let them go empty pocket, criminal. So he banned it. But now gradually, because Sri Lanka is, don't tell anybody, bankrupt country now. Internationally, people say, going to be totally bankrupt. Very unfortunately, it's happening. So now we are thinking of earning money even by doing such un-Buddhist, unjustifiable ways. That will be further ruinous to the country, because even morally we will be corrupt. At the moment, at least there is some morality. Anyway, right, so money can be a corruptive force for foolish people, not properly thinking what we should do. So Buddha doesn't see any danger in earning money in justifiable way, because there are so many uses that you can do. I will make you after the talk do some classwork, not homework. I'll give you some blanks for you to go through and tick. Got pens? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, in my Singapore talk, I have given so many things that one can do with money, right? So, actually, when you have sort of money, right, people in some countries have defined money as visible God. Visible God. Money is visible God. Who said that? Anybody who is studying literature, English literature seriously can answer. Money is visible God. Who said that? Shakespeare said that. Right? Shakespeare. Right? And Luther said, the God of this world is money. God of this world. Because God gives you everything you want, according to their belief. You only have to pray. Right? So pray for your money. Money, please buy me a house. Money, please give me food. Visible God. So that's what they say. I have some other quotations in this my manuscript of the talk. Some say, money is a triumph of mind over the material world. As money today is essentially a piece of paper, or when you use bank card, just a message, says Kulananda and Holder. These are two Buddhists in England. They wrote a book on money, right, in that book. The book title is Mindfulness and Money. Mindfulness is meditation, you know that. You may time to time practice mindfulness meditation. So it's these two people, Kulananda and Holder, they have written a book on mindfulness and money. So they are dealing in the book how to use money the Buddhist way, right? So they say the man-made miracle of money can enhance life. Money is a man-made miracle. Because you see, you take the piece of paper of the same size, money note, no value, absolutely no value, useless, put into the dustbin. But money note printed in the same size of paper carries a large value, can do many things with that. So it's a miracle. Money is a miracle, right? So they say man-made miracle of money can enhance life, stretching our imagination and opening up new inspiration possibilities. Like many powerful instruments, money is sharp, double-edged sword. Sharp, double-edged sword that can bring us complex wonders of much of the suffering that we know. So it's very powerful thing, this money, right? So Buddha was not condemning money, except its value for doing what, right? The money has some relationship with religion, with Buddhism, right? Buddha in Samyutta Nikaya has described certain process where money is influencing our life, right? But Buddha has said, when a man has no money, then, number one, he gets indebted. Because even though you don't have money, there are needs for you to meet. So hungry. How to eat? Your children cry in hunger. Husband is hungry also. He can't go to work without any food. Like that, you have problems. Then what to do? You have to get indebted. Buddha recognized that. Buddha says when you have no money, the moneyless person gets indebted. And getting into debt, he obliges himself to pay interest. Right? It's easy to borrow money from a lending institute, but they are insistent on interest every month. Even though you don't pay the borrowed amount, they are not worried. Better you keep it. But every month, pay us the interest. That's their business. So, when the bill falls due and he is not able to pay, if he is pressed, this Buddha's words. Buddha knew the situation in India also, like today. There were money lending institutes, money lending people. Even in the ancient world, it was a business, right? So Buddha says, when being pressed and still unable to pay, he becomes bankrupt, like Sri Lanka. Becomes bankrupt. And being bankrupt and still unable to pay, he gets arrested. in India, there was no proper police like today in uniform, but there were people called Raja Purusha, king's people. The king's people were the police those days, Raja Purusha. So they come and arrest you. And they are very, very harsh than the police today. They have various ways of beating you and doing all, giving all pain to you. Right? So, you are sent to prison and then you get free food. Right? In the prison, of course, you are not allowed to die in hunger. Give some food, because that's the way to punish you. If they kill you, there's not a punishment. They have to keep you living and then give you pain. Make you a slave to unpaid labor. Right? So prison is not a place. Even unlike today, in King's times, prison was not at all an enjoyable place. So much punishment, so much pain they inflict on. Right? So the Buddha pointed out these ill effects of being indebted. So it's always wise to have your own money. You must have your own wallet. Don't depend on other people's wallet. So Buddhism is not for poverty. Buddhism says, right, earn money. Right. Then who is willing to be poor? No Buddhist is willing to be poor, and no other religionist even. Religion doesn't matter. Every religionist has to be, right? So Buddha observes the extremely sharp prohibition of all possessions of money by the monks had just little influence for lay people's morality. Lay people should not think having nothing in your pocket is a moral. It's not ethically something that you can admire, right? Monks may of course consider, have no money in my pocket, then I am moral, ethically upright. But for lay people, they cannot enjoy it like that. Any kind of individual or moral or social ethical protest against gaining wealth or against the use of luxuries, so far as the mundane ethics comes into consideration, is not to be found in ancient Buddhism, says Max Weber. He's a sociologist who was well known, right? He studied Buddhism as well, and sometimes some unkind remarks were also made by him. But still, he also says that in Buddhism, right, the economic strength of people is recognized, and in fact, he's the person who said that Buddhism is not a sort of country thing. It's a city religion, urban religion. He says Buddha is an urban master for people, because Buddhist. That's why we normally call Buddhist civilization rather than calling Buddhist culture, right? The city life Buddha did not condemn, because in the cities, people, Buddha says, use refined language, not rough language, not painful language. Respectably, people address each other. Language is more cultured, right? And all bad things, normally when Buddha wanted to condemn, he said rough, vulgar villages. He was for urban life, right? So urban economic activities, right? So for what? Money is for what? The uses also Buddha recognized, right? It was his duty when he spoke about money to tell people the real actual purpose of money. He says that lay people, especially when you think of Anathapindika, the exemplary Buddhist layman, right? He had certain lay people's expectations as his philosophy. Anathapindika's philosophy is very good for us also to adopt. Exemplary Buddhist man, exemplary. There was a Buddhist lady also. Who is the Buddhist lady, that exemplary one? Whom ladies normally like to follow. Ladies must be proud of her. Anathapindika, the other name automatically comes to lay Buddhist. Anathapindika, other one, lady one, Visakha. So, Anathapindika has confessed to the Buddha that, Venerable Sir, I have some life goals, life dreams. Before coming to you also I had them. Right? Now I am really conditioned to think that these are the good life goals for everyone. He says, number one, may wealth accrue to me by righteous means. That means, let me be rich. But he has now taken from the Buddha that money has to be righteously earned money. And secondly, may I be known well among my kinsmen, famous. That's famous. You want to be rich, you want to be famous. And thirdly, may I live long, longevity. Thirdly, and fourthly, may I be reborn in heaven after my death. So we all can share those aspirations, right? What is wrong in thinking that let me be rich? Right? Not unusual for Malaysians, is it? Be rich and be famous. Not bad. Famous means known to people as a good person. There is an opposite of it. Notorious. We don't want to be notorious, right? Notoriety is not something that we like to achieve. Famous. Famous is not bad. When you walk in the street, if people in the wayside shops point at you and say, a really good man walks in the street, how proud you are going to be. Isn't that? Right. May I live long? Longevity is also good, because longer you live, more merit you can do. And more compassion you can show people. Right? More you can learn also. Can read more books. Right? At least the newspaper. You read newspaper every day, don't you? No. Malaysian newspapers are very educative. Right? I taught 1 year in Penang, and that whole year I used to read Malaysian newspapers, and I have a notebook copied from the articles published in the newspaper. Star or Sun, wasn't it? Sun. Yeah. So, Star is also a... Yeah. So, from those readings, you get a lot of new stuff, right? Very useful article. Who do you think the most admired writer of mine? Any guess? A name used to you, a lady related to a very high family in Malaysia. Now comes maybe. Yeah? Marina Mahathir. Excellent writings. I don't know whether what you think. Her writings are collected into books also. Walking on Ice or something is one title of a collection of, right? This is not an advertising, okay? I'm not advertising her because no need to advertise. She's very popular as a good writer, women's right fighter also, right? I have read her criticisms on some members who were looking down upon women in the parliament, right? She was very critical of such nasty remarks, right? So, read books. There are so many nice books are published every day in the world. Yesterday I went to MPH bookshop. So many nice psychology books, philosophy books, Even cookery books. So many nice things are there for sale. Reading. Okay, so this man, our friend Anatha Pendika, right, said he has life goals, and then he had to explain why money, why he want to be rich, right? Following the Buddha, right, a rich man can do, number one, be himself happy, right? Man who has earned money in unjustifiable means is not happy. If his conscience will tell him, your money is not justifiable, right? So you have to be honest in your economic affairs. And so, number one, be himself happy. Number two, make his parents happy. Two. Number three, make his wife, children, and employees happy. So your obligation is not only for your wife and children, employees also. And fourthly, his friends and colleagues happy. Because friends, the Buddha says, you always need friends. In Buddhism, it's highly appreciated to have good friends. Good friends, Kalyana Mitta, not Papa Mitta. And Buddha has given us in Sigalovada Sutta, Vyaggapada Sutta, instructions on how to select a friend. And Buddha says, when you find an ideal friend, keep him until the day you die. Lifelong friendship, he admires. Even Buddha had good friends. Sariputta, Moggallana were good friends. Ananda was a very good, reliable, dependable friend. Right? At night, Ananda gets up several times and walks around the Buddha's residence to see whether some enemy is around, something danger, some danger is around for the Buddha. Such a great friend. Many lives he was friend. So Buddhism is actually admiring friendship. Sariputta and Moggallana were very good friends. In lay life also they were friends. And when they practiced with Paribhajaka called Sanjaya, again friends. And then when they found it was not satisfactory, they went in search of good religion. Even then they were friends, and their agreement was that when somebody finds something more satisfactory than Sanjaya's teaching, must inform the friend first of all. First thing that do is to inform the friend, I have found a very good philosopher, come. So that's how they both together went to the Buddha. And the Buddha gave them equally important posts, right-hand follower, left-hand follower. So in Buddhism, friendship is highly admired. So you have to a duty to make your friends and colleagues happy. And fifthly, establish offerings for monks and priests. They were religion's duty. Your religious duty. Religion is also very important. Religion guides you. Especially Buddhism is full of guides for successful living. Not only the next life, this life also. Regarding this life also, Buddha gives very positive instructions. So, religious guides you look after. Right? In another place, Buddha has said there are five-fold offerings you have to do. Offerings. Almost religious offerings. The term used is Pancha Bali in Pali. Bali is India's religious word among the folk practitioners. Folk religions have this term Bali. It's something that you offer without failing to spirits and other sort of invisible powers that you trust. In folk religion, they have a lot of invisible powers, right? I don't know whether you have it here, but in India, Sri Lanka, in all these countries, they believe ghosts, spirits, and very powerful divinities look after you, sort of thing. So you are obliged to make some offerings. So Buddha says there are 5 such offerings. Number 1 is, according to the Buddha, relatives. You have relations who, even though they are not depending on you, time to time, it's nice to share something that you have with your relatives. And guests, Buddha says. According to Indian belief, guest is a god. If guests come to your house, it's like God visited you. Because you make him happy by food and by talking to them and so on. Such a nice thing to have a guest. So Buddha says, you with your earnings, keep something for your guests as well. Right? When the guest comes, you just look around, no tea, no sugar today, oh, everything good. Don't make such grumblings. Have some sugar and tea ready, some biscuits also, for the people who come to visit you. Guests. And thirdly, departed ones, ancestors. Right? How can you treat departed ones? Do some meritorious act and transfer merits. The only thing that you can transfer to the next world is merit. Merit is a powerful thing. Merit is a psychologically created invisible power that you can transfer. And then deities. People believe deities on all over the world. Different deities, different people have. The names may be different, but deities are there. I recently read a book by one American doctor who says that he was a cancer specialist and he was treating people with loving kindness meditation. And he created meditation clubs in certain cities with cancer patients practicing meditation. So he himself practiced meditation. He was a Christian, but later he became a Buddhist as well. Now he's a Buddhist. He says when he was sitting cross-legged in meditation, he felt that some form of spirit is around him, some life form. So he was wondering, what is this? Right? So he wanted to have some form of mental communication, and he says in his writing, in his book, Love, Medicine and Miracles is the title of the book. He says, I felt that I was being communicated. So he, as a Christian, he thought in the East they have a lot of gods, divinities that they communicate, they have relationship. We in the West don't have names and all these things of those people. So my spirit around me, I will treat him as a deity, and I have to find a name for him. Right? Here people have Vishnu, Skanda, all sorts of names. So this man had no name, so he said, okay, I'll name him John. My God is John. So he says, I live with my God, my divinity John. So it's a cultural thing that in all cultures all over the world, people believe in deities, divinities. And with them we can communicate to, the sort of relationship we have is sharing mate. Whatever you do, you share, and Buddha says, when you share, it doubles. Right? There's no need to be stingy in sharing merits. When you share merit, it's also an offering. More offerings, more merit. Right? So don't feel stingy, share your merits. And then, fifthly, Buddha says, it's very important to share your income with, those days there was this person, king. Right? Now it's government. So this really refers to income tax. Right? So Buddhists should never fail to pay income tax. So government will trust you. Buddhists, they honestly pay income tax. Right? One way of winning your government. Pay income tax in time. So Buddha says, pay income tax. Pay the king. So these are the things that one really does. So 11 o'clock. So before question and answer session, can you give copy each to your friends? Don't mind? The Buddhist roadmap to affluence. Right? So number 1, choose your lifestyle, either A or B. Now choose your lifestyle. Either I will renounce the world and become a monk. Who is taking that? Nobody will tick, ne? Tick the answer you like. Number B, I will lead successful lay life. So you have already made your choice. Right. Now, number 2 question. Identify your life goals. A, affluence. B, fame. 3, long life. 4, heaven after death. What do you choose? All 4, isn't it? Right? All 4. That's my choice. Your choice? All 4, isn't it? Yeah, because affluence is a must. Fame, you may not. So some people are rather reluctant to become famous, but naturally, right, some form of fame is need, isn't it? It's better than infame. Thirdly, long life. Healthy long life, that's what we want, isn't it? Affluence. Yeah, that means that you have money, right? Because affluent means that you can spend your money for some public, for other people also. Because there are so many duties you have. Friends, guests, monks, and all these people cannot be treated if you have only just something just to survive. Right? So need little extra. So work hard. Have something for future and to share. And thirdly, know why you need money. Right? A, B, C. A, I want to live a happy life. B, I want to help my parents, wife and children, employees and friends to be happy. Thirdly, I'll entertain my guests, perform meritorious deeds, look after monks and pay income tax. There again, I find you can't delete any. All important, isn't it? All 3. I would tick all 3. Right? And 4, cultivate positive thinking. That's very important, right? Positive thinking. That, in fact, in the early psychologists, psychologists were focusing on sicknesses, mental problems, etc., etc. So one psychologist, the Seligman, he thought, this is too much. We must think in terms of happiness, positive things. That is why now there is a branch of psychology called positive psychology. Maybe in Malaysia, there are some people who are training you, who are helping you with positive psychology. Right? So Buddhism helps you to cultivate positive thinking. Not always negative. Everything changes, so is poverty. That's very important. Poverty is also impermanent. Therefore, don't think that I am going to be poor forever. No. You can win poverty, you can become rich. So, the only good thing about poverty is that it is impermanent. Right? Number 2, karma is not fate. I do not have to accept it passively. That's very important, because some Buddhists think we have to accept karma passively. But we can negotiate with karma. There is a book in English called Karma is Negotiable. Right? So, karma, even though there are a lot of bad karma behind, by being sort of energetic, by being positive, you can create enough merit right now. Right? So don't just succumb to karma. Buddhism doesn't say when everything is impermanent, karma is the only thing permanent. No. Karma can be changed. So don't worry that you feel like having bad karma behind you. No. Try to change that. Because in Jainism, Jaina Mahavira said, as long as you have past karma, you can't attain Nibbana. You have to finish it up by inflicting suffering on you. So they undergo suffering by force. But with Buddhism, it's not so. For instance, take Angulimala. Terrible criminal, right? People say he killed 999 people. I really don't know. Maybe less than that. Right? But the day that he wanted to kill the Buddha, right, he had accumulated enough demerit to go and suffer in the hell. But Buddha gave him a path to cut short, bypass, right? Attain arahanthood means you are jumping out of the field where karma is operative. Karma is operative in the sansaric context. You jump out of samsara, all that karma will be cancelled out. So Angulimala never went to hell, never suffered. There were some small punitive things happened to him when he was begging for alms, going in the street. Some children, when they were trying to pick a mango by using a small club, right? It fell down on his head. That sort of small incidents happened. But the major punishment he managed to evade. Like that, karma is negotiable. Don't think that Buddha says, if you believe karma is unchangeable, permanent, like that, it's a micchaditthi. Right? So, karma you can fight against. Right? And thirdly, I am the creator of my future.
Is karma?
Karma, yes, same. Karma is Pali word, karma is Sanskrit word.
Oh.
Right? There are two languages are very related, highly related. Right? So, for instance, Pali Dhamma, in Sanskrit Dharma. So, I am the creator of my future. And D, I will succeed without exploiting or cheating. Definitely, we should not cheat. We should not do anything unethical in your pursuit of economic success. I will succeed without exploiting or cheating. Right? So that's where many business people get into trouble. They try to exploit. No need to. Keep to Dharma. Create positive self-image. Number 5. Positive self-image. How? Number 1, A. I know my self-worth. But modern psychologists positive psychologists are trying their level best to convince us that we should know self-worth. The Buddha is also like that. When you are given meditation, metta meditation in your meditation class, the first thing you do is let myself be happy. Start loving yourself. So that's in Buddhism also. You know your self-worth. You are a future Buddha, potential Buddha. Everybody has this indestructible Buddha seed in their body, in their mind. So, have some self-confidence. Know your self-worth. You are a human being who can change the world, who can do marvels, right? Very creative you are. Can write poems, write books, make inventions. Now all the scientists are, right? They have done all their investigations and found positive results because they knew their self-worth. So, I know my self-worth. I am intelligent, capable and sociable. Those are the basic qualities, your potentials. And number B, I am proactive. Never procrastinate. You have to be proactive. Procrastinate means you postpone your work. Never postpone. Be industrious. Do the things that you have to do right now without, delay. Thirdly, I am kind, understanding and friendly. These are the sort of Buddhist self-image. We have to be kind. When you are kind, you become loved by many others. You are becoming positively admired, appreciated by people. So be kind, right? Understanding and friendly, right? Then you will not get quickly angry. You understand other man's weakness and you yourself forgive him. Then you don't, attack him. So be understanding and friendly. I am creative, original and innovative. So your life is going to be rewarding for the world. Right? If you just survive, your name will not be added to history. No one will admire you. But when you know that you are creative, you at least write a book, a short story even, a poem. That will last. Creative, original. You are not going to copy. Then you will be caught as a plagiarist. Right? Copycat. No. Original. Create ideas. And then innovative. Right? That way you can be economically successful as well. Right? Not that whatever all other people are doing one business and you are also joining that then increase the competition and nobody will be benefited. If you think of producing a new thing, right, you are adding something to the life of other people as well. Right. 6. Give up pride and false values. Right? Good human being should give up pride and give up false values. A. Doing physical work is not ignoble. Many people think that doing physical work is ignoble. Don't think that way. Do something with your physical ability as well. Right? If you think this way, you look down upon workers. But workers are our strength. Buddha in his Tigalovada Sutta in the 6 directions has said that ground direction, lower direction is workers because they take your weight. On their strength you stand up. So they are the foundation of your success. So doing physical work is not ignoble. No work will make me degraded. Right? If your work is positive, if it's going to be beneficial to other people, don't think that will degrade you. And I can start small, work hard, and become big one day. That's why Buddha has, in fact, many things spoken about labor and the contribution of people who work hard for other people, all these things. Today I had only very limited time. In this book, unfortunately, I can't recommend the book because it's not available. If somebody can reprint, it will be useful. But in this book I have mentioned these things, right? That's why this is the end page of the book. Right. So, choose your work. I refrain from 5 immoral trades. Right? Buddha says, don't measure, don't sell short measured things, don't sell liquor, don't start a butchery shop. Butcher's shop, and don't try to fish and sell, right? The Buddhists should refrain from killing fish even, right? Mansa Vanijja, Sattva Vanijja, the venerables when they give you Dhamma talks may explain these things. 5 types of things that you shouldn't do. 5 immoral traits. I choose a righteous occupation. Buddha has recommended righteous occupations also. He has said even the government service, farming, looking after animals not for killing. Animal husbandry is for milking, etc. Because in India, the milking, looking after cattle, right, rearing, that is a very, very approvable, because people in India thought milk is absolutely precious, valuable thing. Milk can produce various other pancha gorasa, they say 5 precious things that people get from the cow. So they ban killing cows. Even Buddha could not refuse that. Buddha also had to agree. Buddha said, in a sort of rather poetic form, Buddha has said, Tayo roga pure asum. Early people had only 3 diseases. Icha, anasanang, jara. Icha means you desire other people's things and your greed. Right? Anasana, hunger. And jara, getting old. Only these 3 health problems people had. But Buddha says in that stanza, Pasunancha Sabaramba. When people started killing cows, Atta Nauti Magaru, 98 new diseases started. So Buddha was also against killing cows, because Indian culture, cow is very, very important animal. Gives so many nice things to people: milk, cheese, ghee, butter, so many things. Curd, other thing, like yogurt. So 5 things. So, righteous occupation. I am versatile. Right? People can do different things. I am versatile. I'll accept challenges, take reasonable risks, and move ahead. Right? Risk taking is also a part of our economic enterprise. There may be risks, right? But face it courageously, right? Maneuver it wisely, then you can win. And 8, identify endowments. Number 1, perseverance, uttana. That these are also very often comes into topics of Buddhist monks' preachings. Maybe you have often heard it from Venerable Dhammananda Nayaka, right? Uttana Sampada, perseverance. Secondly, savings, Arakha Sampada. Everybody must do some saving. Apadasu Bhavishyati, Buddha said, there can be some dangers, some unexpected disasters, ready for those. So savings. Thirdly, good friends, Kalyana Mitta. You can't run a business just on your own. You must have some good friends who support, give hand. Kalyana Mitta. For your life you need friends. D, balanced living, Samajivikata. Right? Many people find it very difficult to balance their life. They try to enjoy too much. So spend a lot of money for that and then come home and empty pocket. Wife says, no rice. How to buy? So don't go to extremes, make it a balance. Right? And know the risks. Fire risk, flood risk. Kings can confiscate your property. And robbers, thieves can steal, rob or do something. And unbeloved heirs. Unbeloved heirs also can, they come and say, you are our relationship. When you are dead also, some people who are never seen before come saying, oh, he is our relation, right? From his property, I must have my share. Like that, people are there, right? Not beloved, but they claim your things. So, the Buddha, these are all Buddha words, not mine. Buddha says that there is fire danger, flood danger, king's danger, robbers and thieves, and unbeloved heirs. And number 10, keep personal integrity, very important thing, right? A, keep away from addictions. Addictions are womanizing, drinking, gambling. Itti dutto, sura dutto, akku dutto chayo naro, Buddha said. Laddang vinaseti. Whatever he earned, all goes to ditches. If you are womanizing, if you are drinking and gambling. Then not becoming fig tree glutton or starveling. That means don't try to eat everything at one go. That's fig tree. That means you are consuming, nothing for tomorrow. And other one is starveling, not eating, thinking of piling up all the time. And you are suffering, like that beggar who had the well full of coins. Right? And not becoming fig tree glutton or starveling. Never be swollen-headed or sunk. Never be swollen-headed. When you have some money, it's natural for many people to be swollen-headed. I am a rich fellow, a businessman, company owner. This fellow, empty pocket bastard, right? You look down upon other fellows. Buddha says, don't do that. All are human beings. Whether someone has money or not, he is a human being, right? Who knows in future, one day he will be a Buddha. Right? So respect. So I have taken again too much time. Any questions do you have to ask from me?
Professor, you're saying identify endowments, perseverance, Utthana.
Uttana Sampada, Arakka Sampada, Kalyana Mitata, Samadhivikata, the 4 things, right? Yeah. So that's in Vyagyapajya Sutta, Buddha has said this 4. Vyagyapajya Sutta, he has said you must, if you want to be successful in this life, you must have Uttana Sampada. Never be lazy. Always be ready to work.
Hardworking.
Yeah, hardworking. Uttana Sampada. Secondly, Arakka Sampada, have some savings all the time. Because disaster may come up. Right? Man without savings is always in danger. Right? And thirdly, good friends, Kalyana Mittata. Right? Because for business and for doing good things, meritorious acts also, right? So for so many things, friends are. When you are sick, a friend will support you. When you need help for make your business catch up, then the friend will support you, help you. So friends are definitely an asset. Sampada means assets, right?
Sampada.
So balanced living, samadhivikata, because don't go to extremes, right? Even when you become a religious extreme also, right? You forget your business and you every day you start cross-legged for 24 hours. Then it's just, it's not really nice. So keep balance, right? Know how much you can spend for religion. Know how much you can spend for your family. And know how much you have to save. And so it will be balanced like that.
Give up pride and false values, number 6.
No
work will make me degraded. I just would like to ask for your opinion. How do we explain wide income gap and how should one be?
That means, work means not dirty work, only respect. That means stealing will of course make you degraded. If you are a pickpocketer, then of course it's a degrading thing. But here it means for decent job opportunities, work, right? So some people think that doing certain work will degrade me. Now for instance, cleaning the floors. Some people think I'm a cleaner, right? So my executive will consider me cleaner as a sort of low-class fellow, low-grade fellow, like that. But Buddha says, never think that way. Everyone is contributing to human existence in their labor. So every labor is essential. Important. The farmers, they provide us food. Laborers, they may repair our car, right? If you think car mechanic is a sort of low-class, low-grade person, right? How can you make your mobile suitable for roadworthy? He is very important person who contribute to our welfare, our benefit. So car mechanic should not think mine is a very low profession, right? The car owner is a millionaire, right? My repairing his car is degrading for me. You shouldn't think that way. You are also important, right? The millionaire cannot drive his car without your support, right? You must replace his tires at least, right? So everyone is important. This is Buddhist socialism, right? Buddhist socialism is not Marxist revolution or anything, but respecting labor, appreciating labor, and respect all people, right, for their effort in keeping us going, right? Right. Yeah, these are the translations of the Buddha's own word, right? Fig tree is a tree where there is edible fruit, lot of edible fruit, but some people, when they eat this fruit, take the branches off. So even the tiny flowers, tiny things will all go to dogs, right? That means you cannot use them. You just wait. But if you take only the ripened fruits, right? The rest will also ripe to be eaten. So don't destroy the tree when you want a fruit, right?
So you're saying not becoming fig tree gluten means not becoming greedy.
Not becoming destructively greedy. That because people who eat fig tree fruit destroy the tree by breaking the branches. So Buddha says, don't be like that. So you consume, right, without destroying the reserve, right? So don't be what you call destructive in that way. Starveling means they earn and hoard, don't enjoy, don't consume. Go starving and not enjoying. So it was said that in India those days, king came to report to the Buddha, Venerable Sir, today I had cartloads of things from one millionaire's house. That millionaire, in fact, ate only shoddy food. Just every day drinking, what you call in Indian language, they call kanji, gruel. Porridge only. Very poor porridge is it, but he had cartloads of gold money, hoarding. So king said, Venerable Sir, entire day I was taking all what he has not consumed to royal treasure. So the Buddha said, that's ridiculous, right? He spent all his life to spend all that time, never enjoy it. So that sort of people are starvelings. Starving, not eating because have to have money in the pocket. So if you have money in the pocket, right, think what food you can afford, right? Don't try to go to a sort of 7-star place and eat, but what you need for the day, right? If you have affordable amount of money, eat, don't starve. That's Buddhist thinking. That's where you can balance. Okay? So that's Buddhist economics.
Thank you, Professor.
Right on. Thank you.